welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to review a brand new palette that came out recently. I believe it came out on August 7th. Yeah, I think it came out August 7th. But before we jump into the video and before I show you guys the palette, even though you guys might have already seen it from the title, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down to my channel, and make sure to turn on your post notifications so that way you guys are always up to date on when I upload. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the palette I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is the brand new palette that Ace Beaute released on August 7th. And this is the Nostalgia palette. So as you guys know, Ace Beaute is like, well, I haven't really reviewed Ace Beaute a lot on my channel. I do own majority of their eyeshadow palettes, from the Grandiose palette all the way to this one, to the Vintage Dawn, the Scarlet Dusk. I own majority, if not all of their eyeshadow palettes. The only thing that I don't own is the blush palette that they came out with. But ever since I saw this palette, I was just hooked and I really wanted to try it out. So you open it up and this is what the palette looks like. Such a stunning color story. I love the burgundies, the pops of pinks, the neon oranges. Like, they're just colors that really pop out to me, and it's much different from the other two that they've released in this similar packaging. I do have the other two palettes beside me. So this is the Flare palette. This is what the Flare palette looks like. Nikki Tutorials has done a look with this, so this is what the palette looks like. As you guys can see, it's very different compared to the Nostalgia palette. This one is a little bit more muted, while I feel like the Nostalgia palette is like a different color story. This one has like more greens and blues, while this one's more like burgundies and purples. So this is what they look like. And then, so I believe these all retail for $42, but I'll double check for sure. And then this is the Oceanic palette, which you can also purchase in a bundle with the new Nostalgia palette. So this is the Oceanic and this is the Nostalgia. And as you guys can see, the Oceanic is just blue-green themed. So this palette retails for $39. And from what I can see, it does have a 12-month shelf life. It is a cruelty-free product. It's made in PRC. And it says the Nostalgia palette consists of 15 colors that are meant to inspire fun and creativity and to perhaps make you feel nostalgic about some awesome past fun times. Each color has been carefully milled and pressed to provide the easiest application and the most excellent color payoff. So yeah, it does have 24 grams of product, which equals to 0.84 ounces. And like I said, it is cruelty free, so that's great. I do believe Ace Beaute is a black-owned brand. I believe I saw them when everyone was promoting black-owned brands, and I believe Ace Beaute was one of them. Let's go ahead and get started with the eyeshadow base. I'm going to be going in and priming with the P. Louise base, so I'm going to go ahead and prime off camera, and I will be right back. So I went ahead and just primed one eye, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to take this brush really quickly, like a small kabuki brush. And this one is actually from Doe Color, and I'm going to go into the shade called Hiking, which is like a deep burgundy, and I'm just going to pack it on the outer corner. I'm just going to take a small brush, taking the shade Carnival and applying that to the front of my lid. Again, just taking a little bit of Hiking and applying it to the outer corner. Taking my Morphe M506, I'm going to go into the shade called Camping. I'm going to use it to blend out Hiking. I'm going to see how bright this shade is. It's a little bit brighter than the shade called Hiking. As you guys can see, I'm baking it up a little bit, but I'm actually going to take a little bit of the shade called Picnic, which is a little bit brighter, and with that same Morphe M506, I'm just going to be blending it into that shade. Not really going at all into Carnival because I do want to use a different shade to do that. Taking my Morphe brush that came in a BoxyCharm recently, I'm going to go into the shade called Flip Flops, which is a little bit more of a neon purple, and it's a little bit lighter than Carnival. So I'm just going to take it into my inner corner and use that to blend out Carnival so it doesn't look so dark either, and connecting it to the shade called Picnic. With this, you definitely want to make sure that you're taking your time so everything blends perfectly together, and usually having small blending brushes really allows you to have a really nice blend. Alright, so now I think I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease. So I'm not sure if I want to do a halo eye. I feel like that makes the most sense because I have two different sides that are doing this. So just taking a really detailed brush, I'm going to go into a little bit of the P. Louise base and just kind of look forward. Okay, so now that I've cut my crease, I'm going to kind of just pat that base down. I really don't want it to be really like a lot of it because I want to be able to blend out the shades around it. So I'm just taking like a flat brush. And now I'm going to take the shade, I'm going to take the brush and use a little bit of Carnival to really just like pack it on into that and just like not make it look so harsh. So I'm like patting it a little bit into where I cut my crease. So I'm taking a little bit of Camping and just going like I'm pressing it. I'm not really trying to maneuver it too much until I get the desired blend that I want. We have Heat, Stargazing, and Fun. For this look, I definitely do want to use Heat, but all of the shades are calling my name. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use a shade called Fun. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of the shade called Fun on this Morphe M224. I believe this came in the Morphe X James Charles brush set. And I'm literally just putting that wherever I place that base. And it's okay if you get fallout because we're gonna go ahead and use micellar water after. So if you get fallout, don't even worry about it. Just taking a little bit of that shade Carnival, I'm just gonna quickly, kind of just go in between the shades, and then just taking a little bit of the shade I took Hiking with, and just like that. So that's pretty much what the eye look looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to take this Morphe M456 and I'm just going to go around the edges just because I want to make sure that everything looks really blended. I don't want any harsh lines, so sometimes I just like to take a clean blending brush. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other eye off camera, and once I have the other eye done, I will be right back to get started with the base. Alright guys, so now that I'm done with both of the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and move on to moisturizing my face. I'm going to go ahead and use the IT Confidence in a Cream Transforming Moisturizing Super Cream. As you guys know, I'm literally almost out of it, so I'm literally just trying to use whatever is in here so I can use all of it. I got this in, I believe, like a Boxy Premium, or like maybe it was a Boxy Lux, but I no longer have that subscription. I just have the regular base box. I'm moving on to fill in my brows just while that sets on my skin. I'm going to be using the Real Her I Am Inspiring Eyebrow Pencil that I got in my BoxyCharm this month, because I really want to use like most of my BoxyCharm products so I can get like a feel for them. And so I'm going to try to do that now from now on whenever I do get the box. So I believe I got mine in the shade dark brown. It doesn't really have a shade that I'm seeing unless it's like a universal shade, but I don't see a shade on the actual like box. So I'm gonna go ahead and just brush my eyebrows up, kind of just like brush them into place. I got a little bit of primer on this brow. And then using my brow pencil, I'm just going to be very careful and go around and fill in. For the primer I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be going in with the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I know some people did get this in a BoxyCharm, or it was one of the subscriptions this month for BoxyCharm. It might have been Boxy Premium, but maybe some people did get this in their base box. I didn't see that for me, but I could be wrong. I know everyone gets like different variations. I'm just going to use my Urban Decay Brow Blade, and I've been using this brow pencil a lot just because I like to do little hair strokes in the front of my brows and just like in between my brows. I'm gonna go ahead and try out this Morphe Hint Skin Tint. It says sheer to medium coverage, and it says to shake it gently, so I'm gonna shake it for like a couple of seconds and see if I like the coverage of it. It says you can use it with a sponge and with a brush, so I'm gonna be using it with a sponge today. I'm gonna apply a little bit on my skin. So it's pretty light coverage. I know that it says that you can build it up to medium, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use a little bit on my forehead. I'm just gonna take a little bit more and apply it kind of like around the areas that may need more coverage. For the most part, it covered up pretty well. Okay, so now that I've applied the skin tint, I know that these hairs are like barely going down, so they're like kind of acting up. So I'm gonna use the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 19, and I'm just gonna be taking that a little under my eyes. a little on the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, and on my forehead. So I'm just going to be blending it out. Alright, so now I'm just going to contour a little bit. I'm going to be using the Call Me Maple contour stick from Wet n Wild. And I'm pretty sure I'll probably continue to buy this contour stick. It's one of my favorites. So to blend out my nose, I'm going to take this Beaute. I get these off Amazon. If you just look up the brand or like affordable brushes, you'll be able to find them. Gonna take a little bit around the nose. A little underneath of my lip. And if you're wondering why I do the bottom of my lip, it's because it makes your bottom lip look more pouty. So now I'm just going to set my face. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me powder. You guys know this is my favorite powder I've been using to set. I feel like it just makes me look really matte. Okay, so now that I've set my face, I'm going to go ahead and do the lower lash line now. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the shades that I used in my crease. But I'll probably just use the lighter shades. Yeah. I guess I'll take Carnival a little bit in the inner corner. I'm going to take a little bit of Hiking on the outer corner and connecting it to the top. Alright, so now I'm just going to dust off the powder that I have on my face. I'm literally just going to kind of pat the powder in. I don't want to move anything. Alright, so now that I've set my face, I'm going to go ahead and contour. For today, I want to use, again, another BoxyCharm product. So I'm going to be taking the Aesthetica Sunset Bronzer, and this is what it looks like. Again, this one doesn't have a shade on it, so I'm guessing they only have one shade, which is a bummer since it is a little bit of a light shade, as you guys can tell. But I'm going to use this to contour. So I'm going to be taking a Do Care brush, just going into this bronzer. Or contour, I'm not really sure what I should call it, and just putting it where I want to shape my face. So I'm going to be taking this BH Cosmetics number 2 brush. It's part of like their Marble set. And I'm going to be using a blush. I've just been gravitating towards this one. It's my favorite one. It's from ColourPop, the Interstellar Pressed Powder Blush. Literally, I feel like this is such a pretty blush. I really like ColourPop's blushes. I've only tried 2, but just from how much I like this one, I'm very intrigued to get more. Okay, so before I go ahead and apply my lashes, I'm going to line my lips with the lip liner from LA Girl in Sugar and Spice. One little thing I wanted to mention, when I first got into lashes, I always used the black lash adhesive, and it made it a lot more difficult for myself to be able to like apply my lashes and not mess up my eyeshadow. I prefer clear. I know a lot of people do like the black one, and that's great. If you want to use the black one, go ahead and do it. I just wanted to recommend the AOA Super Lash Adhesive. It's only $1 or like less than $2. You can either get it at stores at Shop Miss A or online at Shop Miss A, and it's literally the best lash glue I've tried, and they also do have a black one if that's your preference. So for my gloss, I'm going to be using the shade called Tiramisu from NYX. I'm going to go ahead and apply some highlighter. Today I'm going to be using the Nikki Tutorials Highlighting Trio. It has the shade Space Baby, Glazed Donut, and Glow Goals. I'm just going to take a little bit of Glazed Donut. I know this highlighter is like really intense though. So I'm literally just like barely going into the pan. And barely touching my cheek. To just put some where I want it to be a little shiny. Taking a pencil brush, I'm just going to apply some of that into the inner corner. Okay, so now that I'm done with the highlighter, all I'm going to do now is just apply some lower lash mascara. So this is the final look. I really like the acebeaute Nostalgia palette. The color combination that I came up with is pretty nice. I really loved all of those red, plummy, like burgundies, and just like the beautiful berries to complement the shades that I used that were deeper. And then that shade called Fun that I put on the center of my lid is absolutely stunning. I really like this completed look. For the palette, the shades packed on really nicely and they blended out perfectly. Like I felt like I got the amount of pigment that I wanted. It didn't take much building at all. Just like I feel like it looks really vibrant and just really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so you guys can see a close-up of the eye makeup. So this is what the eyes look like. Of course you can use a lighter lash if you want to see more of the halo eye, but since I prefer a larger lash, this is perfectly fine with me. But yeah, this is what the eyes look like. So let's just take one more look at how gorgeous this palette is. Again, it retails for $39. I believe you can use an affiliate code, but I'm not really sure. I believe I used one whenever I purchased mine. But yeah, for sure, let me know if you guys are thinking about picking up this palette, if you already picked it up, if you've created looks with it, and definitely let me know what you guys think of this look down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Before you click out, make sure to subscribe to my channel. It's completely free, so make sure to do that. And give this video a thumbs up and turn on your post notifications. That way you guys are always notified of when I upload. But I do always upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I usually let you guys know on my Instagram when the video is up, and that the link is always in my bio. So if you want to check out my TikTok, my Instagram, or my Twitter, it's all at Ariana the Glam. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.